Hey, this is JR, aka The Tourist. Welcome to Hua Hin.
Do you remember that episode of Mad Men when Don Draper goes to California? He walks out of a depressing meeting, hooks up with a beautiful woman, and escapes on a bohemian adventure in Palm Springs. That's a little how it feels to leave crowded and hectic Bangkok and step off the train here in Hua Hin, a Thai version of Palm Springs, but by the sea instead of in the middle of the desert. Hua Hin is a favorite getaway for the Thai royal family and middle-class Bangkokians alike. Plus, Hua Hin has all the amenities that make it a favorite for expat retirees. Hua Hin's got a beautiful beach, lively night markets, and enough nightlife to keep you occupied. Of course, Hua Hin may not be the destination for you. It might be too quiet, and it does trend older. And that lovely beach, it comes with some caveats. Join me. We'll talk about it, and I'll show you how I spend a day in Hua Hin. There are a few ways to get to Hua Hin. I caught the train from Bangkok Central Terminal. There are also buses, or you can hire a car, which is how I got back to Bangkok. Hua Hin even has its own airport. But there's a romance to the trains, and Hua Hin has an iconic train station. The State Railway of Thailand recently opened a new and bigger station in Hua Hin, but they kept the style of the old station, which remains a museum of sorts. Part of the reason the authorities take so much care with Hua Hin is the connection with the Thai royal family, which also helps to keep the area more respectable. We'll talk more about that later. At the station, I called a grab, but I had to walk a block or so away from the station to meet the driver, who was hiding from the quote-unquote taxi mafia. Taxis in Hua Hin are reasonably priced, but do always agree to a price before you get in. Alternatively, you can arrange a pickup with your hotel. Speaking of hotels, there's an assortment of accommodation in Hua Hin, from big seaside resorts to smaller hotels and guest houses. Me, I'm staying at the Standard, which is a short ride from the train station.
Okay, the truth is, I don't know if this place is anything like Palm Springs. I've never even been to Palm Springs. Part of it is just that I'm staying at the Standard, which has this really cool mid-century modern vibe to it. I'll show you some pictures. This is a really nice hotel. If you come to Hua Hin looking for some kind of swinging good time, you might be a little bit disappointed. This place is really laid back. What you will find if you come to Hua Hin, it's just a really nice town next to a pretty nice beach. We'll go check out Hua Hin and see what we can get into. Come along.
The Standard Hua Hin is a big reason for the jet-set vibes. The resort really nails that mid-century modern architecture and design aesthetic. Just this pool bar alone, with its space-age concrete canopy, is enough to make me fall for this place. I've posted a brief tour of the hotel on the channel. If you're interested, have a look. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe. I post hotel impressions, destination guides, and more. And I'm just getting started. Join me, and we'll tour the world together. My day in Hua Hin starts with a pretty good breakfast at the Standard. I don't eat breakfast every day, but I usually do avail myself of a good hotel buffet. Unfortunately, even good hotel breakfasts often come with not-so-good coffee. The Standard does have a coffee shop up front, but I decided to head to a little spot up the beach, Drip Rim Lay. This little coffee shack, and I mean shack in the nicest way, sits right on the beach behind the Veranda Lodge on Hua Hin 67. Good coffee and a great view. From here, I could easily spend the morning on the beach, but there's a temple I want to go and see before the midday sun makes it too hot to move around comfortably. This being Thailand, there are a few temples around Hua Hin. I've chosen Wat Khao Takiap at the southern end of town. Spending today mostly around the central part of Hua Hin, and coming down here gives me a chance to at least have a quick glance down here. Plus, the temple boasts excellent views of Hua Hin. And there's monkeys. The temple at the top is pretty modest, but the view is the real reward for making it up the steps. From up here you get a good sense of the length of Hua Hin and its beach. That big building is the Hilton. It's about 4.5 miles away, and Hua Hin Beach runs the distance. As I make my way up back to the center of town, I'll point out that you might choose to skip the temple and enjoy more time on the beach. This video isn't meant to be a strict itinerary or a list of supposed must-dos. It's just meant to give you an idea of how you might spend a day here in Hua Hin. With no further ado, I give you the tourist do's and don'ts. Do come to Hua Hin if you're looking for a beach destination within a short ride of Bangkok, especially if you want a place with plenty to do and some nightlife. Also, do visit if you're scoping out potential options for long-term stays or relocation. Hua Hin has become popular with expat retirees and with some digital nomads. On the other hand, don't come to Hua Hin if you're looking for a pristine, deserted beach surrounded by breathtaking landscapes. Also, if you're looking to party, then Phuket or Pattaya is probably a better place for you. Finally, the digital nomad scene is nowhere near as developed as it is in a place like Chiang Mai, so keep that in mind if that's your thing. For lunch, I went to Jakpu Seafood, although I made a bit of a mistake. Turns out they don't break out the seafood options until dinner service. No big deal, my duck and rice and Thai omelet were both great. I'll be back one day for the seafood dinner. Another option for lunch is one of the malls in town. Malls in Thailand are great, and not just if you need to do some shopping. They generally have great food courts. The one at Market Village is no exception. You'll find both Thai and Western options, as well as dessert. The other big mall in town is the Blueport Mall, which also has a food court. After lunch is the hottest part of the day and the best time to hide out where there's air conditioning or just take a nap. Come late afternoon or early evening, Hua Hin Beach comes alive. The beach is perhaps Hua Hin's defining feature. It's wide and walkable, and both the sand and the water tend to be clean, though not the crystal clear blue waters you'll find other places in Thailand. Also, the tides here can be quite variable, with the beach completely disappearing under high tide at certain times of year. You'll see that many of the beach resorts have their lounges set up on resort property to keep them usable at all times. Hua Hin Beach is also known for horse riding and for water sports, most notably the kite surfing. I don't do either, but I did spend some time lingering on the beach and taking it all in. I stood on the shore and watched the kites flitter and flutter this way and that in the golden glow of the evening. It was one of those very pleasant moments of the type that compel me to travel in the first place. Nighttime in Hua Hin is much like anywhere else in Thailand. I started my evening at the eponymously named Hua Hin Night Market, which runs along Hua Hin 72. Good for an assortment of street food and knickknacks as well as some live music. There are also several seafood restaurants on the street that do a healthy trade. When it came time for my dinner, I ducked off into the quieter patio Old Town Market, which is just around the corner. Try the Northern Thai sausages. They were really good. Hua Hin also has its walking streets and beer bars, though of a decidedly calmer nature than Pattaya or Phuket. A few minutes from the night market, you'll find Soi Bintabat, one of Hua Hin's main walking streets, and all around the area you'll find restaurants and beer bars. I'll say again, if you're coming to Thailand looking for the party, looking for the neon lights and the thumping EDM, and the scores of scantily clad bar girls beckoning you to come and join them, then Hua Hin is not where you want to head. Also, I'm spending this evening in the center of Hua Hin, close to the Hilton Hotel you saw earlier. But as you saw, Hua Hin extends quite a bit to the south, and there are other walking streets and food markets to enjoy. I'll be back to Hua Hin, and next time I'll explore more of the city, and also venture out into the surrounding area. As for tonight, I'm always on the lookout for a quiet place and a good cocktail. 2 options I found are Indigo, where I had a passion fruit caipirinha, and the Elephant Bar at the Centaura Grand, where I found some entertainment. This is as good a spot as any to end the video. Thanks for staying with me until the end. If you've enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please hit the like button. And do stay tuned for more.